What is up, guys, and welcome to 8 things that we've learned from the Middle-earth Shadow of War gameplay reveal. So number 1 is that it looks like we're going to be seeing more of a variety in the places that we'll be able to fight orcs in, and in the combat. So as you'll see here, in the original Shadow of Mordor, there were only ruins, which you use to get a high vantage point to survey the area and plan your attack. However, here there are full buildings that you'll be able to climb on that orcs will be able to also follow you up onto, so you'll be able to fight them on several different layers and possibly jump down from one roof to another roof onto an orc, which would be pretty cool. So combat seems they're changing it up, but sticking to the main arc and formula. So number 2 is that the Nemesis system, the innovative new system that made your playstyle and your playthrough of Shadow of Mordor completely unique to yourself, is that has been expanded so that it is not only working up to the War Chiefs, where the Nemesis system will be, it's that the map is huge, and there are several different areas. Well, this could be number 3 as well, is that there is an overlord in each area, and each area is completely different landscape and completely different terrain. So this is 2 and 3. I'm gonna mix them together, but each overlord is going to be completely different to each playthrough, and you'll be able to incorporate your friends as well. Well, not your friends online, but orcs that will fight by your side. That their relationship with you will be shaped by the Nemesis system, as is almost everything in Shadow of War. And number 4, I briefly touched upon it in point 3, but there will be many more enemy types that you'll have to go through to get to the Overlord. The War Chiefs, which were your main goal in Shadow of Mordor, are only the small pawns in this, and there are many War Chiefs that work below one Overlord, which controls one certain area of the map. So you're going to have to work your way up through all of the ranks, destroy all of the War Chiefs, before killing the Overlord, or possibly even controlling them, so that you have complete control over their nation. But you'll see in this walkthrough where the Overlord is killed, and you can choose one of your orc buddies to step up and fill in that gap, and what powers they have changes what sort of resources you'll gain from owning that stretch of land. And number 5 is that you can now ride dragons in this game. So as usual, you can ride the smaller beasts and you can shoot stuff from on top of these beasts, but it gets really good in this trailer when Talion teleports on top of a dragon, or a Draco as it's called in this game, and bends it to its will and is able to fly around and burn everything around. So you must know this when you go in, because if you think this is like Shadow of Mordor, where it's mostly running and riding smaller animals, it's not. You're going to be able to fly across massive expanses of land. So this could be a big game changer if you think, oh, I don't really want to be always on the ground. Then you could buy this and be really pleased with the fact that you can now have dragons. So number 6 is something that you'll all be glad to know, is that the combat is very little has been changed since Shadow of Mordor, as this had been borrowed strongly from the Arkham games, so you had seamless fluid combat, except this time with added in actual murder, which they had to stay away from in Arkham obviously. But nothing really has been taken away from the combat, as in you still have your shadow strikes when your character's upgraded enough, and you still have these very high level moves and brutal executions, but they've also added a few more Wraith abilities in, and probably they've obviously tweaked some of the combat moves so that the game still feels fresh. But there are some more Wraith moves as well as your usual Shadow Strike. You can also now blast them from afar, and you can also reel them in really close towards you, and you can also do double assassination, double takedowns, where you'll take them down, but Celebrimbor, your Wraith, will take the other person down at the same time. So combat remains just as perfect, just as badass as ever. And number 7 is that the customization of your character and everything in this game is much deeper than the original Shadow of Mordor. With Shadow of Mordor, it was very much the story that was shaped around your actions, whereas this, everything is. Like, your story is not the only thing that matters. What Talion looks like, he gets new customization, new armor, and everything around you, like how you can have your own orc army to fight by your side. It's just an extension of what Shadow of Mordor started to build. So we get into more RPG elements with, you will get a very different looking Talion to say your mate. Your mate might have the game too, and he'll have built a Talion who has different armor on. You can argue who looks better, but it very much makes your own entire playthrough extremely unique. And finally, number 8 is that this is still only an alpha build. So you be looking at this game and you'll be like, oh yes, this looks great. I'm so excited, thinking, oh, there'll be a bait. Like, you think this is very close to the finished build, but it's only an alpha. You'd expect most games still go through a beta build where they're very close to the finished product. But you'll see here, there are a few things like the graphics on Talion look a little bit sketchy throughout the game when he's fighting through them, and if you just stop for a second, his hair doesn't seem to be like properly animated yet. But these are only small things, and Shadow of War is shaping up to be a great game with better combat, more in-depth nemesis system, dragons, and everything that we could have asked for a Shadow of Mordor sequel. So that brings me to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment on if you're going to pre-order Shadow of War or not, or whether you're going to wait to see a more fleshed out part of gameplay for this game. And subscribe for more videos like this one.